Ray Brown's Talkin' Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
And by Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Learn more at brome.com.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 981. On today's show, we'll hear about bluebirds and starlings, and we'll listen to some bird songs direct from the pages of a wonderful new book for young birders. From the Talkin' Birds mailbag, here's a note we're getting to a bit belatedly from Lissa in Charlestown, New Hampshire. She says, I had a few birds singing this morning. My song sparrow was a little MIA, but I had my second fox sparrow passing through on his way to Quebec. I was happy to look out when I did. The neighborhood cat thought he'd try to ambush my birds. I chased him off. Keep cats indoors. That's from our friend Lissa Malloy, along with Emily and Dominic in New Hampshire. Thanks for that report, Lissa, and for that very good advice about keeping cats indoors. We have an audio postcard from Linda Schwartz down around Parkville, Maryland, featuring an Eastern Bluebird-themed little interview. Here it is.
Hello, Ray and fellow birders. This is Linda, and today I'm in Cromwell Valley Park in Baltimore County, and I'm here talking to Laura Lexon, and she is a naturalist at the park. And I first want to say welcome, Laura.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and she monitors the Eastern Bluebird Nest Box Monitoring Program, and I'd like to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about the program and how it got started?
Yes, this is a citizen scientist program. It started in 1994. We currently have 33 active boxes, and what we do is we monitor eastern bluebirds and other cavity nesting birds, and the goal is to increase their fledgling success. It began because eastern bluebird populations were decreasing in the mid-1900s, and this was happening due to habitat loss, often because of human development, and also introduction of two non-native species, the European house sparrow and the European starling.
Laura, thank you so much. I appreciate all that information, and I'm sure our fellow birders do too.
Well, we certainly do around here. Thank you so much, Linda. Audio postcards, how to make one? Just grab your smartphone or digital recording device and go out, look at some birds and describe what you're seeing or interview somebody. Send the file to ray@talkinbirds.com for your audio postcard. That's ray@talkinbirds.com. From our In Case You Didn't Know department, we'd like everyone to know that our show streams live every Sunday morning at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. So you can hear Talkin' Birds live wherever you are. Full details, easy to see and find and understand, even for us, at talkinbirds.com, no G in talkin'. That live stream, of course, makes it possible for you to enter our weekly Mystery Bird Contest from wherever you are. And here's a little preview of today's contest. That would be the bird, a mystery bird. It's a small shorebird with moderately long legs, a short neck, a pale tan back, white underparts, and dark neck patches that stretch around to the upper chest. In North America, our bird is found year-round along the Gulf and Pacific coasts, with breeding populations in scattered inland locations, mostly in the southwest. In hunting for the invertebrates on which it feeds, our bird typically pauses and looks and runs, then seizes its prey from the surface of a beach or tidal flat, sometimes probing into the sand. That's our bird, and prizes include a very special bonus prize, which we'll describe a little bit later in the show, along with this really special bird feeder from Brome Bird Care, the Mega 600 feeder, It has the extra-large tube, holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed, easy to clean and chew-proof, and comes with a Brome lifetime care warranty. And from our friends at Fresh Cut Paper, we have 5 of those beautiful bouquets, bird-themed bouquets among their selection. Their bouquets have a small fraction of the carbon footprint by the way of imported flowers, and they last for a really, really, really long time. All on the Mystery Bird contest. Here's a salute to another member of the Talkin' Birds royalty, and that is our Talkin' Birds ambassadors. More than 800 folks who are helping us to spread the word about birds and conservation by handing out little cards that we send to them at their convenience. Or we send them and they give them out at their convenience. Elaine DeCastro from Elgin, Illinois is a Talkin' Birds ambassador. Elaine, thank you so much. To become an ambassador and help us do what we're doing, just go to talkinbirds.com, click on the Get Involved button to see how to do it. Still to come today, we'll welcome back a favorite guest, one of the world's leading birdsong experts, Don Kroodsma. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for a Let's Ask Mike segment, almost live from the archive, about the do's and don'ts of setting up nest boxes. And up next, followed by an update in the information contained within it, we'll explain. It's our featured feathered friend segment, kicked off by the late, great Roger Miller.
England swings like a pendulum do. Bobby's on bicycles 2x2.
Police at a station in the Oxfordshire, England town of Bicester this week thought that one of their vehicles was experiencing trouble as they kept hearing a siren wailing out in their car park. A closer examination, though, revealed that it was not a siren that they were hearing, but a bird, the one serving as today's featured feathered friend. First, here's a bit of the sound that confused the Bicester Bobbies. Hearing that, one might think of a northern mockingbird, but they're quite rare in the UK, and observers said the bird that they saw and heard was instead a European starling, a bird that often fails to get its proper respect as a mimic, and which, in addition to police car sirens, can produce credible imitations of red-tailed hawks, killdeer, wood thrush, and northern bobwhite, among other bird species. These stocky black birds with short tails, triangular wings, and long pointed bills are often resented for their pugnaciousness and provenance, but anyone willing to take a good look will see that they're attractive birds, speckled in white spots during winter, then turning dark and glossy in summer, and their amazing flocking flight displays, called murmurations, should be enough to turn any skeptic into a fan. European starlings are natives of Europe and parts of Asia and Africa, and first arrived in North America in the 19th century, when some folks who thought that all birds mentioned in Shakespeare should also find a home in the U.S. In addition to North America, including Mexico, European starlings have been introduced to South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia, and are found in many other places too, like the Bahamas, Central and South America, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and Cuba. Today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend, fooling bobbies in Bicester and birders across the world, Sturnus vulgaris, the European starling.
England swings like a pendulum do. Bobby's on bicycles 2x2.
Welcome again to our show, number 981. And by the way, the little clarification I sort of alluded to was related to that bird that we just featured in connection with the story from England. Well, we heard indirectly from our friend Andrew Coughlin with Birds Canada that the folks who made that ID of the bird were maybe not correct. He says the bird was actually the European blackbird, or Eurasian blackbird. And the interesting part is that that bird is not a blackbird. It's actually a thrush, and I believe related to our American robin. But we have someone here with me who can correct what I just said if necessary, and we're happy to welcome back one of our favorite Talking Birds guests, a man who is one of the world's leading birdsong experts, Don Kroodsma. Good morning, Don.
Hey, good morning, Ray.
Thanks for sitting through all of that. You know, last week was our blooper show, but I think we've extended it maybe to for one more week here. So thank you for being along here with us as we go through this. You are the author, Don, of several wonderful books, and we'll do a little recap on those. But let me ask you about your latest work called Listen to the Birds. Tell us about that book and who it's for.
Well, you know, the publisher says it's for kids 4 to 11 years old, but I would extend that to kids up into their 80s and 90s. Grandparents, parents are just having a ball with this book. I had to look up the words augmented reality, but that's what this book features, so that when you aim a smartphone or a tablet at a bird on the page, the bird comes to life, moves and sings, and has just the most glorious sounds you could imagine.
Well, I can attest to that, having experienced a number of times myself. And it's all possible because of something called Birdie Memory, a little app that I should hasten to add is a free app created, if I'm correct, by your co-authors, right?
Yes, my co-authors are just magical, Lena and Johan. Johan does the magical technical stuff on the side, and Lena's a fabulous artist and designs the books, and together they have just made this book come to life.
Well, let's do a little demonstration here. We'll see if I'm not too clumsy here. We'll actually be able to point this at this bird that I'm looking at right now and see what happens. I believe that's a barred owl, if I'm not mistaken, especially since the app tells me that it's a barred owl without me even having to know that.
And if you listen carefully, you know it's the male barred owl because he's a little lower pitch and doesn't have all that vibrato on the end of the call. All that's mentioned in the book, of course. Good details.
Indeed. Right above the barred owl, let's see if we can get this bird here. Sounds like an Eastern Phoebe.
You got it, Ray.
Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't hard. And on other pages, we've got the beautiful wood thrush and the red-eyed vireo, and we have a great horned owl. I know you kind of were interested in this one. Let's see if we can maneuver our way over to this other page here.
Okay, and before you play it, I should tell listeners, listen to the pitch of the hooting, because the male sounds like a low-pitched foghorn, and you hear the female a little higher pitched. You'll hear both of them in that selection.
Yeah, if I can, I am dropping stuff all over the floor here, but I'm going to get back to this here if I can.
Oh, hear that female first and the male in the background, a lot lower pitched.
We heard
so much fun listening to these duets.
Just as you described, Don. So I've got the book here, right here with me. It's so beautiful. And you can even play the sound of the birds that are on the cover of the book. So everything is taken care of there. And it's so interesting how this is broken down, too. You have birds of eastern North America, then western North America, and then broken down further from there. Describe that for us.
Oh, yes. We want to take kids of all ages on an early morning bird walk when the world is so quiet. And everything belongs to those of us who dare to get out there an hour before sunrise. So we take a nice morning walk starting before sunrise in the eastern U.S. with all the common birds that we might hear. And then for western listeners, there's a whole other walk in the west. And we take it as a normal field outing. We hear one bird, the next bird, and we go through a couple different habitats. So it's a very realistic outing of what someone might experience.
I want to mention your other books, Don, that we just did allude to briefly a moment ago, with including your multi-award-winning The Singing Life of Birds. I think that was the first one, and others after that. Tell us briefly about that book, because folks who don't know about it really should.
Oh, The Singing Life of Birds. I was bicycling across the country in 2003, and I got a notice from the university saying I could retire if I wanted to. And this book was in the works, and I thought, wow, there's nothing better to do with life than to write books for people about birdsong and try to get them hooked on the magic. And it was my first one. It included these things called sonograms, and sonograms have taken off since then. So it was a great book to start.
And all these other ones, including with your bicycle trip, right, across the country, looking and listening to birds.
Listening to a continent sing, Virginia to Oregon, what a trip and what an ear-opening sound experience.
Listening to a continent sing. And by the way, speaking of those sonograms, I love this quote from a reader who says, "He peels away the mystery of birdsong without casting off its mystique, and will change forever the way each of us listens."
I like that.
That is a beautiful and certainly appropriate quote for sure. Listen to the Birds. It's available now wherever you find books, essentially, and that magical app. That's a free app that allows you to listen to those birds so beautifully and easily. Don Kroodsma is a renowned author and ornithologist and one of the world's leading experts on the science of birdsong. That latest book, again, Listen to the Birds, now available at your favorite bookstore or wherever you buy your books. Don, congratulations on the latest book. Thanks for being with us
Ray.
again. Don Kroodsma on Talking Birds, and up next, it's our Mystery Bird Contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. That's our mystery bird. You're hearing the sound of the bird, and we're describing the bird here. It's a small shorebird with moderately long legs, a short neck, a pale tan back, white underparts, and dark neck patches that stretch around to the upper chest. In North America, our bird is found year-round along the Gulf and Pacific coasts, with breeding populations in scattered inland locations, mostly in the southwest. In hunting for the invertebrates on which it feeds, our mystery bird typically pauses, looks, runs, and then seizes its prey from the surface of a beach or tidal flat, and sometimes probes into the sand. So that's our mystery bird and the clues and the sound, and we have a very special bonus prize. It's a copy of Don Kroodsma's wonderful new book, the one we've just been talking about, Listen to the Birds. As Don said, the publishers say it's for young readers, but absolutely interesting and fascinating for folks of all ages. It is a wonderful book. So that's our bonus prize in our Mystery Bird Contest. Plus, other great prizes include the Brome Mega 600 feeder with a big tube that holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed. Includes the Brome ventilation system, too, to keep the seed cool and dry. And for something really beautiful, we have 5 bouquets from fresh-cut paper. Bouquets with a tiny fraction of the carbon footprint of imported flowers. They are beautiful, wilt-proof, and crafted to last a lifetime. So that's some pretty nice prizes there for identifying our mystery bird. And if you don't get the right answer, you could still be a winner, because a drawing will determine our winner from among those taking a guess there. Here's the number. It's 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900. Call us as soon as you can. 781-837-4900. Up next, almost live from the archive, some nest box advice from our own Mike O'Connor. Let's ask Mike in just 1 minute.
Welcome to a world where bird feeding is enjoyable for both you and your feathered friends. Introducing Squirrel Buster Bird Feeders by Brome. Our innovative feeders are designed to keep squirrels at bay, ensuring that your garden birds get their fair share. And the best part? We offer lifetime care for every feeder, making your purchase worry-free. Transform your garden into a bird paradise and keep it that way forever. Sorry, squirrels, it's just for the birds this time. Visit Brome.com, BROME.com, to discover our full range of Squirrel Buster feeders and join the Brome family today. Brome, where birds come first, and our commitment to you lasts a lifetime.
Mike O'Connor is down there at the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod, but we haven't connected with him yet. But we'll get him on the line here in just a moment to talk about what you can do for nesting materials. If you're trying to activate some nest boxes or a nest box in your yard, what are the good things to use and what are the things that aren't so good? Mike will have some insight on that for us. And then we'll be back to our mystery bird contest and giving away those beautiful prizes after the Mike O'Connor Let's Ask Mike live segment, which begins right now. Good morning, Mike.
I don't hear any music. What the heck?
Oh, you missed the music. Yeah. Could we play the music? No, we can't play it again. I'm sorry. We will.
All right.
We'll send you a cassette. You can play it later.
Cassette would be good. Now I just need something to play the cassette on.
Unless you still want to use your 8-track, because I know you generally use that, but we'll get that out to you. So, Mike, I just teased the idea of what you were going to talk about here in terms of nesting materials for birds. Some things are really good to use, and other things that people might think are good, maybe not so much.
Yeah, this came from your one of your favorite listeners, Andre, up there in Canada, and she wanted to know what material that's used in. And the important thing when you're putting out nesting material, and a lot of people like to do that kind of towards this time of year where the birds are setting up their nest sites, and they'll need nesting material to like make a liner for the nest to help build their nest. And and historically they've been able to find it, but it's kind of fun to put a few things out that the birds can use. And there's a few precautions that you shouldn't use. You shouldn't use anything that's artificial. And I know people either on purpose will put some of that fake Easter grass outside, or they'll do it. They're sloppy with it, and they don't put it, and the birds will use that for the nest. Artificial stuff isn't the best. They can get tangled in it, and also plastic material that they might, especially orioles and birds that build hanging nests, will build a nest with, that tends to fall apart a lot quickly, and the birds lose the whole nesting season when the nest falls apart later. So avoid artificial stuff. The best things are natural fibers. Animal fur is good. If you have a pet that you don't treat with any kind of tick or flea powder or any of those things. If you brush your dog. I know one lady has a golden retriever. She brushes the dog and she saves it, and we give it to customers, and they put it out, and the chickadees love it. But if she ever treats the animal, then she doesn't do it. You can't put out treated fur. That's not good at all. Dry lint, people sometimes put that out. That's kind of gets the thumbs down because we have too many soaps and fabric softeners in a dry lint, and some of those fibers are artificial, so they kind of come out against those.
That gets doesn't that get sort of matted too if it gets wet?
It does. It doesn't hold up as well as you would think it would. Yeah. It breaks down and it holds the moisture. It ends up not being a good idea. We used to put out pieces of yarn for the orioles, and there's been some pushback against that. But if you do that, just use small, short pieces, 4 to 6 inches. Don't put out long pieces of anything because the birds will get tangled in it. So it always has to be kind of short. But the most important things are natural stuff, wool, cotton, and with the return of the tree swallows, which are coming back now, if you have a friend who raises chickens or ducks, gather up any white feathers, small white feathers, and put those out. The tree swallows love those for sure. You put those out nearby, and they scoop them up. I don't know what the excitement is with the feathers, but they like those. But keep it natural. Keep the plastic artificial or any treated material away, and then the birds will be great.
All right, got it. And we thank our friend Andre up in Quebec again for this idea, for this...
she comes up with the best ideas up there in Canada. Maybe she knows that chimney swift guy.
Well, that was the other thing. That was actually through her that we got our guest, Andrew Coughlin, this morning.
Yeah.
She's in charge of everything around here.
She's the best.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, talk to you next week.
Mike O'Connor from the famous Birdwatchers General Store. And by the way, speaking of Andrew Coughlin, that was an archived segment there with Mike. But we mentioned Andrew a little while ago on the show, and we're planning to have him as our guest again soon from up there in Birds, Canada. Back here to the Mystery Bird Contest. Sometimes our lines get jammed up, as they were already this morning, in fact, the phone lines, that is. So if you get a busy signal, call us back. Call us back at 781-837-4900. And Marie is in Holbrook, Massachusetts. Good morning, Marie.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. What do you say, Marie, on our mystery bird? What do you think it is?
The sorrel bird, S-O-R-A.
Oh, a Sora. I see, a Sora. I can see where maybe you got that idea from, but according to our soloist here, it's not a Sora. But thank you for that try, and we hope you'll try us again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Not a Sora, but what is it? Caroline may have an answer for us. Hello, Caroline.
Hi.
Hi there.
The Wilson snipe.
What did you say? A Wilson's snipe? Is this thing still working over here? Yes, it is. As a matter of fact. Not a Wilson's snipe, but a top quality answer, Caroline. Thank you so much.
Too bad. I wanted that book.
Well, we'll see. Maybe you'll still win, because if we don't get a correct answer, that's how that goes. We'll have a drawing. All right. Thank you, Caroline. Let's go to Larry. He has a guess for us, too. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. Yes.
I believe it's a spotted sandpiper.
Spotted sandpiper. We're not going to play that trumpet again, I don't think, but it is not a spotted sandpiper, really, as near as we can tell. But thank you, Larry, for that try. And I don't know if we'll have time to take another call. Maybe not. Maybe not. If we can clear a line quickly enough, I don't know if we can or not. But we'll try for a few more seconds here, and then we'll reveal that mystery bird, and we'll also declare a winner here. But we'll see if Jesse's grabbing another call, even as we speak, at 781-837-4900. And we'll see how that goes on our mystery bird contest.
We have Colleen on the line.
Pauline, is it Pauline?
Colleen.
Colleen, good morning, Colleen. What's our mystery bird? I don't mean to be quick with you, but we're very short of time.
Screech owl.
Say that one more time.
Eastern screech owl.
Eastern screech owl. I wonder if you were listening to a different program, a version of our show, because that doesn't seem like it's focused in all that much. But it's not an eastern screech owl. The answer is snowy plover, and we're declaring Caroline as our winner this morning. And we are out of time. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you next week.
The Bird Show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talkin' Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
And by Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Learn more at brome.com.